Hello everyone, and welcome to this tutorial on connecting two Moodle sites via LTI. In today's video, I will show you how to integrate two Moodle systems using the Learning Tools Interoperability standard, simply and step by step. This guide is designed for beginners, so even if you're new to LTI, you'll be able to follow along. First, let's cover a brief overview of LTI. LTI stands for Learning Tools Interoperability, a standard that allows different educational platforms to share resources securely. In our example, one Moodle site will act as an LTI provider, meaning the publishing content, and the other will serve as an LTI consumer, meaning embedding that content into a course. By the end of this video, you will know how to configure both sites to talk to each other seamlessly. Okay, back on my Moodle sites, this will be my main Moodle site where my course is. And then I have a second Moodle site where I have users enrolled, but I want to allow them to do the course here on this Moodle main site. Now, why do I want to do that? Because then I won't have to publish this course or export this course or back up this course and restore it here. I can just leave it here, but I can allow the students on this Moodle platform to access this course via LTI. Before we can even think about setting up the LTI, there are some prerequisites. Okay, so let's go through the prerequisites. First, go to Site Administration. Then click on Plugins, and then scroll down to where you see Authentication. Next to Authentication, click on Manage Authentication, and then make sure that you enable LTI. Okay, so all you need to do is click on the eye icon here, and now you'll see that LTI is enabled. Again, click on Plugins, and now scroll down to where you see Enrollments. Click on Manage Enrollment, Manage Enroll Plugins. Scroll down to where you see Publish as LTI Tool. Make sure you enable that. So now we have our Publish as LTI Tool enabled. Again, click on Plugins. That's it for this platform. Now we move on to our second Moodle site. Again, click on Site Administration. Click on Plugins and then scroll down to where you see Authentication. Make sure you click on Manage Authentication and then make sure that you enable LTI here. Again, click on Plugins. Scroll down to where you see Enrollments and then click on Manage Enroll Plugins, and make sure you enable Publish as LTI Tool. Okay, now go back to your main site, click on General, make sure you go to Security and then to HTTP Security. Scroll down to where you see Allow Frame Embedding and make sure that you enable this. This will allow the course on this platform to be embedded in a course on this platform. Okay, so make sure that Allow Frame Embedding is enabled on both sites. On this side, click on General, scroll down to where you see Security and then HTTP Security, and make sure that Allow Frame Embedding is enabled. Click on Save Changes, and that's it. So now we're ready to set up our tools on both platforms. Let's go to our main Moodle site. Okay, from here we want to register a platform. Okay, so how do we do that? Click on Plugins, scroll down to where you see Enrollments, and then click on Publish as LTI Tool. Scroll down to where you see Registered Platforms. Now we need to register the platforms. Okay, so on the main Moodle site, you need to register your second Moodle site, and on your second Moodle site, you need to register the main Moodle site. I'll show you now. Let's click on Register Platform, and then give it a name. Remember, this will be our second Moodle site, so it will be Moodle 2 for me. So I'll just paste the name in there. I'll click on continue, and now you'll see it provides me with a registration URL. Now there's two parts to this. First is the dynamic registration, which is automatically, and then we can use a manual registration where you need to copy these URLs. Okay, so first we'll go with the dynamic registration. Remember, we're on tool details, and you'll see here that this is the URL of my main Moodle site. I'll copy this, then I'll go to plugins, scroll down to where you see external tools, and then click on manage tools. Now we are going to create a tool, an LTI tool. Okay, so I'll paste the URL that I've just copied, and then I'll click on add LTI advantage. This will create our tool for us automatically. If you go to the pencil icon, you'll see that all the fields are already filled in. To create it manually, you need to click here, configure tool manually, and now you need to provide the URLs manually in here. But since we've done it automatically, it's already populated for us by just adding the URL there. So all the fields are already populated, and you'll see this is our main Moodle site, this is our main Moodle URL and the launching tool. Then we have our client ID, then we have our public key set, and then URL, the redirect, and then the tool configuration usage, and so forth. Okay, so now while we're here, under tool configuration usage, make sure that you select or show in activity chooser and as a pre-configured tool. So I'll usually choose the bottom one because that includes both. Then it asks us the default launch container. This is how should the course be launched. Should it be embed with blocks? Should it be in an existing window, or should it be in a new window? Usually I'll click on new window, I'll select that. Then scroll down to where you see services. Here, IMS LTI assignment and grade services. This I select usually the use service for grade sync only, but according to your needs you can select the bottom one. I'll select that one. Then IMS LTI names and role provisioning. I'll click on that, and I'll use the service to retrieve members' information as per privacy settings. And then under tool settings, you need to use this tool. Okay, so we're going to use it. Then under privacy, make sure that share launches name to tool always, share launches email to tool always, and then accept grades from the tool. Here you can specify always. Okay, that's it for this. You can click on save changes. So now our first tool is set up. Okay, so there we go. Now click on plugins again. Go to your enrollments. Under enrollments, click on publish as LTI tool. And now you'll see our first platform here is created. But now you need to go into the pencil, click on the pencil icon. You'll see here that the platform details were populated. Now this is Moodle 2. It says here Moodle 2, but it provides a URL for Moodle 1, and this is incorrect. Okay, so we need to fix this. Let's go to our second Moodle site. Okay, click on plugins. Again, scroll down to where you see enrollments, and then publish as LTI tool. Okay, I'll then click on register platform. Now this should be the first Moodle site, so this is my main Moodle site that I want to register here. And I'll click on continue. It provides me with a URL here, but I'll not use the URL here. Okay, I'll use these settings, but first we need to add our first Moodle site's details to our second Moodle site. Okay, so I'll click on platform details, and here you'll see there's nothing in here. I'll click on edit platform. Remember, we're on the second Moodle site. Okay, I'll then go, you'll see the first thing it asks us to the platform ID or the user. So there's the platform name, the platform ID or the user. So I'll just copy this. I'll paste it in here. I'll then go back. It asks us now for the client ID. There's my client ID. I'll copy that. I'll paste it here. Then for my authentication URL, I'll just copy that. I'll paste it in here. And then for my public key set URL, I'll copy that. I'll paste it in here. And then for my access token, I'll copy that. And then I'll paste it in here. Okay, so now we're set. We click on save. So this is our main Moodle site. All the details for our main Moodle site. Now, this we need to change to our second Moodle site. Okay, our second Moodle site details. So now we need to go to plugins again. And then under external tools, manage tools. Now we're not going to automatically populate these fields. Okay, what we'll do is we'll configure the tool manually. I'll click on configure a tool manually. Now we need to provide the information here. So the tool name will be, this is my Moodle main or my main Moodle site. Okay, then the tool URL. So if we go back, click on the pencil icon, and then it asks us for the tool URL. So I can just copy this. I'll copy this and I'll paste it in here. Then the tool description we can leave out. Now we need to make sure that the LTI version is the same version here, LTI 1.3. So I'll just change this to 1.3. Okay. Now I'll go and copy my public key set. I'll copy that and I'll paste it where it asks me for the public key set. Then I'll copy the initiate login URL. Make sure that you copy all of that and I'll paste it here. And then the redirection URL is usually 2. So let's copy that. I'll copy that and I'll paste it there. And then my custom parameters, we'll add that later on. But for my content selection, I'll just copy that and I'll paste it in here. Make sure that you click on support deep linking and this will become available. You'll paste the URL there. Okay, that's it. Now we need to do the other settings. So tool configuration usage. Make sure that you select the show as in activity chooser and as a pre-configured tool. This means that if we are in the course, it will show up in the activity chooser as well as a pre-configured tool. Okay, and I'll show you later on. Default launch container, we'll make sure that it's a new window. Under, there's no restrict categories, but you can restrict certain categories. But since I only have one course, I'll leave it on that. But if you have more than one course, you can restrict certain categories. Services, I'll make sure that this is only for the grade and this is for according to the privacy settings, and I'll make sure that we use this service. I'll make sure that these are all set to always, and then everything else on it's default. So there we set. I'll just click on save changes here. So now our second tool is set. Okay, so our first tool was set. So this is our first tool, and then we have a second tool. Okay, then go to plugins and then enrollment. Make sure you click on publish as an LTI tool. You'll see that there's my Moodle main. And if I click on my configuration now and platform details, you'll see this is my main Moodle site. And here on my main Moodle site, if I go to plugins and then enrollments, you'll see that these are the details for my second Moodle site. For my first Moodle site, this is my first Moodle site. This should be my second Moodle site. Okay, so why should this be your second Moodle site? Because the first Moodle site, the main Moodle site, need to allow access for the second Moodle site to access something on the platform. So we need to change these details. Okay, so let's do that. So how do we find the details? That's important. Okay, so under tool details, you'll see there's my tool URL, and this is my URL for my second Moodle site. Then the initiate login, then the JWKS URL, and then the deep linking URL. Now let's edit the details here to make sure that's in line with our second Moodle site. Okay, so let's click on edit platform details, and we need to change these details. Okay, so you'll see that there's already my second Moodle site, but we need to find the information here. Okay, so where do we find it? Click on your second Moodle site, plugins, and then scroll down to where you see manage tools. Under external tools, click on manage tools, and now remember we've set up this tool. Click on configuration, view configuration details, and you'll see there's my tools details. It's the second Moodle site. There I have my client ID, I have my deployment, I have my public key and everything. Okay, so let's copy this over. So I'll just copy my platform ID. Where it says platform ID, I'll just remove this and paste it here. Then I'm looking for my client ID. I'll copy that and I'll replace it here. Then I'm looking for my authentication request URL. So there's my authentication request URL. I'll paste it in here. I'll just, usually I remove it just to see if there's nothing left. Then I'm looking for my public key set. Okay, so there's my public key set. Copy. So I'll just remove that so there's nothing there. There's my public key set, and then I'm looking for my access token. My access token is there. I'll just copy that and I'll paste it in here. Okay, I'll save that. Now, one important thing that you need to remember, that we have the tools details, the tool details, the platform details, but we also need the deployment. And you'll see here that my the second Moodle site's deployment is 7, but this shows 12. Okay, so we need to add a deployment 7. The name is 7 and the ID is 7. Save. And we need to do, remember this is 12, we need to do the same here. Okay, I'll cancel this. I'll go to plugins, then I'll go to enrollments. I'll click on publish as an LTI. I'll click on this tool here, the pencil icon. Remember, this is my first Moodle site, my main Moodle site details. I can go to tool details. I see the tool details, but where I want to add that is deployment. So you'll see there's nothing here. I'll click on add deployment, and my deployment is 12 and 7. So I'll make sure that I add those deployments. The first one is 12 and the second one is 7. I'll save that. Okay, so now we're all set. Okay. So one last setting we need to do, we need to publish the course. Okay, so I'll go to my course now. So under courses, manage courses. So now you can select your course that you want to publish. So this is my published course. I want to publish this course, and you'll see that there are 3 activities here. Okay, I want students to come from here. No enrollments, nothing. They should be automatically enrolled on this platform. Okay, and do the activities here, but on this platform here. Okay, so I'll show you now. So this is my course. I'll click on more, and here you'll see publish as LTI tool. Okay, I'll click on that. Here it asks me what tool I want to create or publish content. I use the LTI Advantage. I'll click on add. I'll make sure that this shows LTI Advantage. I'll give it a custom name, so I'll call this test integration. just call that test integration. Now you can specify if you only want activities to be published, you can select the activity. But if you want the full course, you leave it on course. You can specify an enrollment date. So let's say you only want them enrolled in that particular course for 7 days, or for a few hours, or for a few minutes, or not even a few seconds. You can specify it here by clicking on Enable. You can also specify an end date or start date and an end date. Then you can specify the maximum enrolled users. If you only want to allow 10 users to access those resources, you specify it here. Then the role of the teacher should be teacher. The role of the student should be student. Make sure of that. And then teacher first launch provisioning mode. You can leave everything on its default here. Then the grade synchronization, leave it on yes, this one no, and this one yes. Then user synchronization mode, make sure that this is enroll new users. You don't want to unenroll anyone, you just enroll new users. Okay. And then you can specify default city. You can even specify the institution here in the country. Okay. So that's about it. If I'm done, I'll click on Add Method. Now it provides us with the URL, and then it provides us with the custom properties. Okay, and this is important because this will allow us to access content on this particular platform. Now I'll copy this. I'll go to my second Moodle site. Okay, I'll click on Plugins. Then I'll go to my external tool and click on Manage Tools. Then I'll open this tool by clicking on the pencil icon, and under Custom Parameters, I'll paste that. I'll paste remember this course is now published. I'll paste the custom properties. And now you can see that this URL corresponds to this URL here. Okay, so that's my tool URL. Okay. I click on Save here, and now I can do the same on this end. I'll click on Site Administration, I'll click on Plugins, and then under External Tools, click on Manage Tools, and make sure that in my custom parameters, I'll paste that. Okay, I'll click on Save. Okay, so we're all set now. Now on my second Moodle site, here I need to create a course to actually embed the external tool on this platform. Okay, so I'll go to my courses, I'll go to Manage Courses, and then I have a test course here, so I'll use the test course, but you can set up another course. I'll click on View, and this is my empty course. Okay, no one is enrolled yet in this course. I'll show you now. Okay, so now I want this course. Let's just go to the course. This is my test course. View. I want this course to be embedded in this test course on my second platform. Okay, so what I need to do now is I'll click on More, and if I click on LTI External Tools now, you'll see that there's my tool, my main Moodle site. Okay, make sure that Show in Activity Chooser is enabled. Okay, make sure that it's enabled. Go back to your course. Now in your course, click on Add an Activity or Resource, and under Activities, you'll immediately see there's my main Moodle activity becomes available. If it's not available, please make sure that under LTI External Tools that this is enabled. If it's not enabled, it won't show up there, but if it's enabled, it will immediately show up there. Okay, so click Add an Activity. You'll see that under Activities, let's just refresh the course. Add an activity. I'm not sure. Let's just check if I've enabled it. Oh, okay, so that's enabled. I'll go to my course. I'll click on Add a New Activity. Immediately you'll see there it is. I'll click on that. I'll give it a name. So I can just type Test Integration. And this is the course. Okay, So this will be my course name. I can leave everything on its default. I'll click on Save and Display. And immediately you'll see that there it asks me open in a new window. I'll click on that and now it will open in a new window. And look at that, I'm on the training Moodle site. Okay, and I'm automatically enrolled in this course. And I can do the activities, and I'll show you now for a learner. Okay, so immediately it opens in a new window. I'm on my main Moodle site with access to this particular course. Now I'm an administrator, and you can argue that you're already an administrator on that platform as well, but I'll show you now as a test case how it's done. Okay, so on my second Moodle site you'll see that Moodle 2, but it opens this new window. Okay, if we want to embed it in here, okay, I'll show you now how to do that. On my main Moodle site, go to Site Administration, and then go to Plugins, and then go to Manage Tools. Then click on the pencil icon there, and you remember we've selected New Window. If I should select Existing Window, it will open in the existing window. But let me show you Embed without blocks. Okay, I'll save that. Then I'll just purge my caches, Development, Purge Caches, and then Purge. I'll do the same here. I'll just go to Site Administration, Development, and then Purge Caches. This is just to clear the cache. It works the same as your web browser where you clear the cache. Okay, so I'll go to the course now. Go to Manage Courses and then Test Course. Okay, I'll view the course. So there you'll see it's the same. Let's now click on that. And immediately you'll see that I'm on my main Moodle site, but this is now embedded without a frame. It's like a course on my Moodle platform. Okay, so now that's working fine. Let's just close this. Okay, so go to your main Moodle site. Okay, I'll close this as well. So this is my Moodle 2 and this is my main Moodle site. Now I want you to look at the users, browse users. So there's 3 users currently. Okay, I have a James and I have a Nolan and I have a system administrator. Okay, there's only 3 users. Okay, so on my second Moodle site, let's go there. Users, browse users. There's the same users. Let's create a user here. Okay, I'll call this user Andy Cap. Okay, and I'll say this is Andy Cap. Let's give Andy an email address and then give Andy a password. Okay, there we go, and that's all we need. So now we have Andy Cap, it's his username, we have a password, and there we go. So let's create this user. Remember, this is on the second Moodle site, and there's Andy Cap. He's never accessed the platform. Okay, so now let's enroll Andy. I'll enroll Andy in the course, in the test course. Let's just go there. Let's go to participants, and you'll see it's only me that's enrolled here as a teacher. And then I'll enroll Andy. Okay, so let's find Andy. There we go. Enroll. So now we have Andy as a student on this test course. Okay, look what happens now. So now I'm going to incognito mode for teaching. Okay, so let's just create a new incognito mode. So I'm on teaching then, teaching. Okay, so it's teaching, and we'll log it. Let's just remove you'll see my site is in maintenance mode, both my sites, so I'll just remove that for now. So I'll just go to site administration, server, and then remove maintenance mode. I'll enable I'll disable, and on this one the same, server, maintenance mode, and disable this save. Okay, alright, so let's go. I'll now go to this. I'll just refresh it, so maintenance mode is gone. I'll log in as Andy, so there's Andy Cap, and I'll just add my password. Okay, I'll log in as Andy, so there we go, there's Andy logged in. Got it. So profile, yes, that's Andy Cap. Okay, so now Andy can go to his courses, and there's his test course. He'll click on his test course. Let's just got it there, and there's the integration course. Okay, so watch now. I'll click on the integrate. Remember, Andy isn't enrolled in. Let's just go back. Just want to make it something clear. Users. Let's go to browse users. You'll see that Andy is nowhere enrolled in on my main Moodle site. Okay, it's only those 3 users. Let's go back. Let's go to our incognito. So Andy's now in the course that he's enrolled in, and he's a participant. He'll now click on the test course. Immediately it opens, but as you can see, it changed the URL. This is his second Moodle site where he clicked on, and it opened this for him. There's Andy enrolled profile. There's Andy Cap, he's enrolled. Okay, my courses. Okay, so there's the test course. So he's enrolled, but he's on the training site. Now look what happens on the training site. It's still the 3 users. If I refresh this, you'll see that Andy immediately got enrolled on this main platform through the LTI. 34 seconds he was enrolled. If I should go to the course, let's go to the course. There's the test course, view course. Now if I go to my grades now, or let's say if I go to participants, you'll see that there's Andy. So on my main platform, Andy's automatically enrolled by just clicking on that particular course name, that LTI course. Okay, so let's go through the activities. Let's do the activities with Andy. Okay, so there's the first activity, and Andy can say, okay, this is yes. Okay, do the second activity. Let's get this one wrong. There's 1, 2 and 3, so I'll just 1, and there's 2, and then there's 3. Let's leave 3 out. Okay, check. Okay, so 2 out of 3, that's fine. And then for the last one, I'll click on that. There's 1, 2, 3 again, so there's 1, and there's 3, and there's 2. Okay, there we go. So now let's go. So if I go to grades, you'll see that Andy scored 10 out of 10 there, 10 out of 10 there. Okay, so this is on the training site. So the recording is already done for Andy on the training site. If you look now at the courses, let's go to the main Moodle site. I'll just refresh here. If I go to the grades now, you'll see that there's Andy. He scored 10, he scored 6.66, and he scored 10 for the third test. So on this course now, Andy score's been recorded, and he's a participant via the LTI integration. We didn't enroll Andy on the main platform. It was automatically done when he clicked on the specific course name here. Okay, so and this is how easy it is to set up LTI, and how useful it is, because it isn't just a Moodle and Moodle integration. You can use H5P and Moodle. You can use other platforms. If you do a search what else can be integrated via LTI, you can integrate it with Moodle, grading platforms, homework platforms, any platforms that has LTI features or tools. So anything is possible with the LTI. I really hope this video was useful and that you can make use of this feature in Moodle. It's really simple to set up. If you have any questions, just pop me a question in the comments and I'll answer you.